Welcome to our tutorial on rescuing weather readings. I'm going to take you through a couple of typical tasks that volunteers can help us with. So starting off on the dashboard, click on Rescue Weather Readings. This will take you to the next available document that we would like a volunteer to look at. In this particular case, you can see that there are some special instructions for this particular document. Not all documents will have instructions like these, but if instructions do appear, you should read them before beginning the task. Once you've done that, take a quick look at the document. You can use these zoom in and zoom out buttons, as well as the scroll bars, to help you view some of the details in the document. You'll notice over here, we are asking you a question about the content of this document. Does this document contain any information or references to Australia's weather or climate? To find out why we ask this question, you can hover your mouse over this information icon. Looking at this document, I can see that there are measurements from a barometer, as well as measurements from several different types of thermometer. That means this table contains pressure and temperature readings. After identifying this, we can go back to the question and confidently say, yes, the document does contain information about Australia's weather. The next question, does this image contain an article with words or is it a table with numbers? Now we've already established that this is a table with numbers, so I go ahead and click Numbers. Again, if you want to know more about this question, simply hover your mouse over the nearby info icon. In fact, there are quite a few of these info icons throughout the site, so if you ever want any extra information, look for the nearest info icon. The next question. Does this document contain weather measurements for individual days? I see in the table that there are indeed measurements taken on individual days, so I should click Yes. If the table only had weekly or monthly averages, then I would have clicked No. Okay, now you have the opportunity to rescue the weather readings in this table. You should start by working out what the date of the first day mentioned in the table is. In this example, it's fairly straightforward. The table lists the first day as Tuesday the 19th. If you come across a table that only lists the day of the week, you can use the publication day and date, which is listed here, to count backwards and work out the first date in the table. Now that I've worked out the first date listed in the table, I can put that into the data entry section on the right hand side. You'll notice that the table has automatically filled in the year and the month based on when the article was published. You may have to change these if the table runs across 2 months, or if the table covers a week that begins in December of one year and finishes in January of the following year. Now I'm going to begin entering the information for the first measurement listed for that particular day. In this case, it was a barometer reading taken at 8:30 AM, so I put in 8 and then 30. Next, I need to select the type of method used to measure the weather. In this instance, we have a barometer reading taken at a specific time, so I would call that a single observation. You can see here you could have chosen average, minimum, maximum, or range if alternative types of measurements are listed in the table. If you are not sure what type of measurement it was, select Unknown. Next, we choose what type of reading it is. In this case, it's pressure. After that, select the unit, and unless otherwise listed in the table, all pressure readings will be in inches of mercury. Now it's time to type the value, which in this case is 29.760. That's the first entry in the table finished. We can see here that there are more readings for Tuesday the 19th, so now we need to click on the button labelled Add another reading for the same day. You'll see it copies all of the choices from the previous reading, so you don't need to adjust all of the options again. According to the headings in the table, the next reading was taken at 2:30 PM, so I select 2:30 PM in 24-hour time, which is 14:30, and all the other settings stay the same in this case. Then I can enter the value. There are still more readings left for the Tuesday, so once again I click on this button. Now in this case, when I look at the next reading in the table, I can see something a bit unusual. The time is listed as sunset, and we can't select sunset using our 24-hour clock. Whenever you come across a problem like this, check to see if there are any special instructions. If not, you should contact us. The special instructions for this document say that for the barometer section I should record the readings at 8:30 AM, 2:30 PM, 9 PM, and to ignore all other readings. So I skip the sunset reading and move on to 9 PM. The next reading in the table is from an attached thermometer. I have confirmed in the special instructions that we do want the attached thermometer readings, so I start by changing the time to 8:30 AM. Then I change the type of measurement from pressure to temperature, and then type in the value. I'm now entering the 3 attached thermometer readings. Once again, I excluded the sunset reading as per the special instructions. The next set of readings required, according to the special instructions, are the maximum and minimum temperatures for the day. Maximums and minimums will not have a time associated with them, so I need to change the time drop-down menus to blank. I also have to change the method, which will be in the first instance maximum. Then I can enter the value. Now I'm up to the last reading for Tuesday the 19th, and I just have to change the method to minimum and input the value. Now I'm done. The first day in the table is always the most time consuming. Once you have finished the first day, the system creates a template, so for the rest of the table you should only need to enter numbers. I'll show you what I mean by moving on to Wednesday the 20th. I click on the button labelled Add Another Day. First check that the date has progressed properly. In this case, it has changed from February the 19th to February the 20th, so that is correct. Now you can see underneath that the system has copied all the settings from the day before, but left the value boxes empty. This means you should be able to just start typing in numbers. You can also use the Tab key on your keyboard to move from box to box. If you can't read a value and wish to skip it, you can click on the red X to delete the row in the data entry section of that particular day. Please note that you can't leave a value box empty, so you must delete any rows that you do not use. You can also go back to previous days using these plus and minus buttons if you realize you have made a mistake. So now I'm finished the whole table. Afterwards, I do my best to give a location for the readings. I can see it was published in Sydney, so I will put down New South Wales and Sydney. If I had any problems, I could mention them here in the comments box. So that's it. I'm finished with this document, so I click on the I am finished button. If you haven't finished but want to save your progress and come back later, click on Continue Later. You can also choose to skip this document if you don't want to complete this particular task. Now I'm on to my next document, and if you want to choose a different type of document, you can then return to your dashboard. If you are interested in exploring articles, journals and diaries, we recommend you check out our other tutorial that takes you through some examples. Thanks for listening.